Hey everybody. So I'm just going to use this so you can hear me. Today I'm feeling to speak about loving thy enemy. Now we've just had the eclipse in Aries, and that can really bring up conflict. So this is something I was certainly tested on in my life. I arrived back to Morocco, and my apartment that I'd paid in advance for wasn't ready, wasn't accessible, had been a party house, was filthy, had no bedding, no Wi-Fi, no key, no light in the bathroom, the list went on, no towels, for 3 days, and trying to get that resolved was certainly challenging. And then to top it off, someone who I'd befriended, a local, I realised that I was pretty much just an ATM to them, as how they view the Westerners, and that all of the charm was, just to lubricate the transactions. So I was feeling pretty jaded. And then things shifted, thankfully, because I was thinking, oh God, I never want to come back to Morocco again. And I'd experienced similar when I lived in Bali. Initially it's like, oh, the people are so lovely. And then you realise, oh, yeah, they're being lovely, but they're greasing the wheels in order to get as much as they can from you. And these are sacred cultures, but everywhere in this paradigm of 3D, the divine has been replaced by money as God. And so even people that think they're very spiritual and devout are still worshipping money. They're still motivated more by money than they are just showing up and giving from the heart, giving. And to balance that, I've been gifted incredible generosity from people who have expected nothing in return. In fact, this project, this huge stage show I'm doing, wouldn't be possible without the support, particularly of one woman, Chloe Silverman, who has just come on board and been of service and not expected anything in return, knowing that I didn't have it to give, but because she believed in the project. And it, moved me to tears several times over the eclipse. So, there's always a counterpoint. But I wanted to speak on loving the enemy because, as we do when we're hurt, I retracted and, didn't want to engage with people that I felt, weren't honouring of me. And then what shifted for me was the chap who was meant to come and fix everything in the apartment. He didn't show up when he said he would. I waited around for him for half a day, and eventually when I got Wi-Fi I said, would you please come and sort out all these issues, and he did. And after he sorted them out, we had a chat, and he had just found out that he and his wife are pregnant. And I remember that time in my life, throwing up, so hormonal, because a pregnant woman's going through 36 times, imagine the hormones that are surging through you in one period. You've got that times 36 in one day of being pregnant. So, he was riding that tiger, that dragon. And also he has his own separate hostel where he doesn't have any cleaners. He has 10 beds, and it's up to him to cook the breakfast and do all the cleaning and the hosting for, And then this other apartment block of his uncle's, because, things hadn't been done, it fell to him. So we had a chat, and I spoke with him about, that threshold crossing into fatherhood and what he needed for support. And so that opened up my empathic heart, which is the heart of brotherly, sisterly love, like the turquoise here in my, this is throat chakra. And the shift from 3D into 5D is that shift. 3D is when we're operating out of solar plexus, and it's the ego. It's always thinking, what can I get? You know, it's in service to self. So it's viewing people as, you know, in an exploitative way. Whereas when we shift into 5D, we're looking at each other with compassion for their wound, and allowing space for the context of what it is they are experiencing, rather than just focusing on what we want and when we want it, i.e. now. And then through our conversation, we started speaking about the other chap who I'd felt had, you know, not been honourable towards me. And I realised that this chap, he wasn't following his heart. He's a musician. And because he's not taking the risk on his music, putting himself out there, whether that's busking, going to local restaurants and saying, hey, can I play? He is trying to befriend tourists and, you know, offer them a room or, you know, tours, whatever. And if we're not doing what it is that is aligned with our soul's purpose, passion and mission, the universe won't allow it to happen. So things aren't flowing for him. And that brings out the worst in us when we're ego dominant. And so that allowed me to have compassion for him and say, okay, he's not doing what it is he loves, he's not happy, and that's why he's you know, got an exploitative attitude towards Westerners. So, yeah, I was able to say to him, look, I'll have a chat with you and try to explain in a way that you can hear why I'm pulling back. And explain with love, explain with compassion for the fact that he's in a very poor country and he's doing what he thinks he needs to do in order to survive. And that is ultimately what anyone is doing. They're doing their best, doing what they think they have to in order to survive. And with the increase in inflation that's being orchestrated, the challenge is for us not to make money our God, you know, because when we do, we betray ourselves, and then we automatically start betraying brothers and sisters, yeah? Because when we're out of alignment with ourselves, we can't be in right relationship with others. So that helps us to have compassion for people that do us wrong, okay? That on the understanding that they're out of alignment with their own heart, they're miserable. That to perpetrate you know, an injury on another is a sign that they're treating others the way they treat themselves. So, yeah, I was singing to a nice version of Imagine last night, and seemed fitting after journeying that. So that's been my journey, this eclipse, and I don't know how it initiated you, but it certainly was an intense eclipse season. So I'm sorry I haven't done a video the last 2 weeks. I was recording the album in Ibiza for the new stage show 2 Fridays ago, and then didn't have Wi-Fi access. So yeah, I hope you're travelling well, and I hope that, yeah, my experience is of some use to you in terms of the insights, and I wish you a blessed Friday. Thanks for watching, and feel free to share. Bye.